Hey everyone, and a massive welcome to the channel. Before we dive into today's absolutely mind-blowing topic, I genuinely want to take a quick second to say thank you for being here. I truly hope you and your loved ones are feeling happy, healthy, and are in great spirits today. Let's jump right in. Have you ever just stopped and stared at a line of ants marching across your kitchen counter? Maybe you've seen them in the garden. These tiny, unbelievably busy creatures, each one seeming to know exactly what it's doing, carrying a crumb 10 times its size. It's easy to watch them for a second and then go about your day. But what if I told you that you are looking at one of the most relentless, non-stop, 24/7 operations on the face of the planet? What if I told you that every single one of those ants, from the moment it becomes an adult until the moment it dies, never, ever goes to sleep? Not a single nap. Not a moment of shut-eye. They are the ultimate ultramarathon runners of the animal kingdom, and their entire society is built on a foundation of constant, unwavering wakefulness. That line on your counter isn't just a few bugs, it's a shift that never ends, a workforce that never clocks out. It sounds impossible, right? It sounds like it would break every rule of biology we know. So how do they do it? And more importantly, why? What incredible secret do these tiny insects hold that allows them to defy one of the most fundamental needs of almost all animal life? To really wrap our heads around this, we first need to understand what sleep actually is for us, and for most creatures. For you and me, sleep is non-negotiable. It's a vital, active state where our bodies and brains do crucial housekeeping. Our brains sort through the day's memories, filing away the important stuff and discarding the junk. Our bodies repair tissues, build muscle, and release hormones that keep everything in balance. Without it, our cognitive function crumbles. We get irritable, our reaction times slow to a crawl, our immune system weakens, and if we go entirely without it for long enough, it's fatal. Sleep is a biological imperative. So, the idea of an animal simply not doing it at all is staggering. It would be like a car engine running at full redline, never stopping for an oil change or a coolant break, for its entire operational life. It just shouldn't be possible. And for an animal with a complex brain like a mammal or a bird, it isn't. But ants are different. They are playing by a completely different set of rules. Ants are what we call eusocial insects. This is a fancy way of saying they are the ultimate team players. An ant colony isn't a collection of individuals, it's a single superorganism. Think of it like this: your body is made of trillions of individual cells. Your heart cells beat, your lung cells exchange air, your brain cells fire. They all have different jobs, but they all work together to make you. An ant colony is the same. The queen isn't a ruler giving orders, she's more like the heart, the reproductive organ of the superorganism. The worker ants are like the hands, the feet, the eyes, and the immune system. They don't work for themselves, they work for the survival and propagation of the entire colony. This is the key to understanding their sleepless lives. Their rest isn't organized around individual needs, it's organized around the colony's needs. So, if they don't sleep, what do they do? Do they just run around like frantic, wind-up toys until their batteries literally run out? The answer is no, and it's here that things get really fascinating. Scientists who have studied ants incredibly closely have discovered that workers do, in fact, take breaks. But these aren't anything like our sleep. They are incredibly short, frequent periods of rest that last for just about a minute at a time. During these power naps, the ant simply stops moving. Its antennae might droop slightly, and its responsiveness to the world around it decreases just a tiny bit. It's not unconscious, it's more like a deeply relaxed, waking state. And here's the real kicker. A single worker ant might take over 200 of these 1-minute breaks throughout a single day. Do the math on that. It adds up to a few hours of rest, but it's so fragmented and shallow that it barely qualifies as what we would recognize as restorative sleep. It's more like pressing the pause button for a single, fleeting moment before hitting play again. But why live like this? Why this chaotic, stop-start rhythm instead of a good, long, consolidated sleep? The reason is the colony. There is always work to be done. Always. Larvae need to be fed, the nest needs to be repaired and defended, food needs to be foraged for. If every ant in the colony decided to clock off for an 8-hour sleep shift, the entire operation would collapse. Predators could invade, the brood would starve, and the colony would die. So evolution came up with an ingenious solution: shift work. The colony never sleeps because not all ants are active at the same time. At any given moment, day or night, a certain percentage of the workforce is always active, patrolling, working, maintaining. Meanwhile, another percentage is taking their minute-long breaks. It's a constant, flowing rotation of activity and minuscule rest periods that ensures the engine of the colony never stops humming. It's the world's most efficient factory, running 3 shifts a day, every day, forever. This leads to another mind-bending question. If they're not getting proper sleep, how do they avoid the catastrophic neural and physical breakdown that affects every other sleep-deprived animal? How are they not stumbling around, making terrible decisions, and dying after a few days? The current thinking is that their rest periods, as brief as they are just enough to perform the absolute minimum critical maintenance their simpler nervous systems require. An ant's brain, while amazingly complex for its size, is not a human brain. It doesn't need to do the vast, complex memory consolidation and emotional processing that we do. Its tasks are more hardwired, more instinctual. Therefore, the housekeeping it needs is less intensive. Those hundreds of tiny pauses might be enough to clear out waste products, rebalance chemicals, and give its neural pathways a momentary reset. It's like rebooting a simple app on your phone over and over instead of having to shut down the entire operating system for a full update. And the energy cost of this lifestyle is just as fascinating. Ants are cold-blooded, meaning they don't burn energy to maintain a constant body temperature like we do. This already makes them far more energy efficient. Their small size and these incredibly frequent, ultra-short rest periods might be a perfect evolutionary adaptation to manage their energy budgets without needing a long, vulnerable, deep sleep state. They are the masters of micro-rest. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what about the queen? Surely the most important member of the colony gets to put her feet up and enjoy a good night's sleep, right? Well, prepare to have your mind blown again. The queen, the egg-laying machine of the colony, actually has a completely different rhythm. Studies on fire ant queens have shown that they do, in fact, have periods of deep, prolonged rest. They will enter a state where they are completely immobile for extended periods, several minutes at a time, and their brain activity suggests a state much closer to true sleep. This makes perfect sense when you think about it. Her job is not to run around and forage, it's to be the stable, reproductive core of the colony. Her need for consolidated, restorative rest might be linked to the massive metabolic demands of producing thousands of eggs. She is the one critical component that the colony protects above all else, and her different, sleep schedule reflects her utterly unique role. This incredible system has profound implications. It means that the ant colony, as a superorganism, has effectively outsourced the need for sleep. The individual workers sacrifice their own deep restorative rest for the good of the whole, but the colony itself never experiences the vulnerability of being asleep. It's always alert, always aware, always functioning. This is a staggering evolutionary advantage. While a sleeping predator or a competing colony is offline and vulnerable, the ant colony is wide awake, with sentries on duty, nurses caring for the young, and workers maintaining the nest. This relentless, 24/7 operation is a huge part of why ants are one of the most successful animal families on Earth, thriving on every continent except Antarctica. So, the next time you see that tiny ant struggling with its massive crumb, I hope you see it differently. You're not just looking at a simple insect. You're looking at a single cell in a vast, breathing, thinking superorganism. You're looking at a being that defies one of nature's most fundamental rules, not for its own benefit, but for the survival of its family, its home, its entire world. It lives a life of constant, rhythmic motion, punctuated by hundreds of silent, one-second pauses, a life of tireless work and microscopic rest. It never knows the comfort of a deep sleep, but in its sacrifice, it ensures its colony will live on. It is a marvel of evolution, a testament to the incredible power of teamwork, and a truly awe-inspiring piece of the natural world that is happening right under our feet, every second of every day, forever awake.